My name is Sherree Stanley. I did not serve in the military. I got involved with Phantom at the same time as my husband, so we're going on almost 3 years now. He came to me and said, I found this group and I would like to jump. What do you think? Okay, have fun. And I've never missed a jump since. I've been at his first one and I've been at every single jump since then. And so now I am the quartermaster. So I have been the quartermaster for Phantom Airborne since March. I run the online store, so the t-shirts, the patches, the flags, anything and everything Phantom swag is what I do. I sell Phantom swag. So we have a tent, a whole bunch of tables, and we are just bombarded with t-shirts and coins and patches and anything that anybody wants to buy to support the organization. They know they come to me. They come to our tent, they come to my table, and they get whatever they want. And everything that anybody purchases from Phantom is a complete and total donation. So that, really does help the organization to allow us to be able to get these jumpers out here, get new parachutes. If we have a jumper that may be down on his luck, we can go ahead and afford to pay for his jump because it's something that he needs to be out here, he needs to do. So that's what I feel like the Quartermaster store is so important, because not only do we, sell cool t-shirts, but we get our name out there and we're able to help the organization in our own small way. I've literally lived 45 years and never felt like I was ever a part of something important. And I'm not airborne, I'm not military, I don't understand their brotherhood that they talk about, or their, whatever this special bond that they have for them, for each other. But I know for my bond with all of them is something that is just probably like for them, it's special for me. I love each and every one of these men as much as I love my husband. I would do anything for them. I know their names. I love hearing their stories. They could not tell me their war stories enough. They could not tell me their personal stories enough. And so for me, being a part of Phantom, I guess it's my own brotherhood, because I've never felt like anything that I've done in my life, whether it's sports teams or dance teams or being a part of a large healthcare organization and in any type of leadership, positions that I've ever held, I've never really felt like I was making a difference. And if selling a t-shirt makes a difference, then to me, I feel like that's something that I can do for the organization, even if I can't understand why any human being would purposely throw themselves out of an airplane on purpose. He knows that I'm at the drop zone waiting for him, and not only waiting for him, but I'm waiting for them all. They each hold a little tiny special part of my heart, and they probably don't know that, but they do, and I love each and every one of them. So for me, Phantom has finally made me feel like I'm a part of something important. I watch these men walk off the drop zone, whether it's the first time that they've jumped in 37 years like I saw today, or whether, I just saw them do it last month. The looks on their face and the way that they talk about it and the way that their demeanor has changed just from 30 minutes ago, that's what I get from Phantom, and I feel so honored to be a part of something like that, and to see new jumpers come out that are very sheltered, and they very much keep to themselves, watching them blossom and come out. And I know that part of them and that part of their personality and that part of who they are came out, and it was because of Phantom. It wasn't just because they're having a good day. It's because Phantom does something so special for these men that, again, I would never understand, but watching how these men just transform, and they're like, butterflies, they're like caterpillars turning into butterflies. So watching that and seeing them turn into different people, it's just an honor. It's like I said, if all I have to do is sell them a t-shirt to make them smile or make them happy, then my job is done. So To be a part of Phantom for me is a little bit different because I don't have that bond that they have with them. But like I said, I feel like I have my own special little bond, not only with the organization, but every single member that I'm close to. And I love each and every one of them dearly. I can't thank them enough for what they've done for our country, the sacrifices they've made, some known, some unknown, and there's nothing more that I could do but other than be out here, support them, tell them how much I love them, and do whatever I can to make them happy. And I know it's a small part of Phantom. I'm very much a small fraction. You know, I'm just a little tent with some, you know, colorful T-shirts. But it's my contribution. You know, all of our guys have their own individual contributions that they're able to give because of their past military experience and things that they've done in their life. Well, you know, other than, you know, working for, working in healthcare, I can't contribute much to them. So if that's one thing that I can do to build the organization up a little bit more, you know, T-shirt at a time, then I'm more than happy to be able to do that. So I came out the first jump and I kind of just stood in the back because, I mean, when he told me what he did in the Army, he was like, well, I was a paratrooper. I was like, that is. Go home and Google that. I don't care, you know, whatever. But, you know, I knew it was important to him. So I was like, well, I'll go out and see what it's all about. And the first time it was mind blowing to me. You know, I mean, I knew like these gentlemen jumped out of an airplane. Okay, well, that's no different than a skydiver to me until you get around them and then they start talking to you. And then you come to the second jump and they remember your name. And then the third jump and you meet somebody new. And then the fourth jump and, you know, Butch Gardner reminds you of a conversation that you guys had the very first time he ever met you. And it's those little small connections that slowly build over time that I mean, I was supposed to be at a work conference this weekend, but I was like, can't go. I have a jump. That's cool. I'm not going to miss anything for the world, you know, and I would never, ever miss, it would take a lot for me to miss a Phantom event, not just as a quartermaster, but as a wife supporting her husband, but kind of as a wife supporting all of my husbands. Sure. You know, I love every single one of them. So, you know, I couldn't imagine not coming to a simple event, a large event, or anything in between. I'll do whatever they need me to do. They get the gratification of jumping out of an airplane. They get the gratification of being around, you know, their like-minded, their paratrooper friends, their, you know, their thing that they do. I don't know. It's just different for me. But I feel like it's the same. It's on the same level. Yeah. But I just feel like it's something that's just something that had been missing in my life for a very, very long time, and I didn't realize it was missing until I had it, you know, and now that I'm here and now that I have them and I couldn't imagine my life without Phantom at all. You know, Greg and I weren't married when he was in the Army, you know, so I don't know what he went through and what he did and things like that. I don't have a strong military background when it comes to my family. So when Greg started getting more involved in Phantom, I was like, oh, we're in it. Right on, you know. I'm not just going to be a spectator anymore, you know, and so every time that somebody says, you know, so what are you doing this weekend? Oh, well, you open up that can of worms. Let me tell you, you know, and even the clients that I work with, you know, most of them, hey, you got to jump this weekend? I do. They're like, send me the YouTube link. I will, you know, I will, you know. So Monday morning when I go into work, I got my select clients and, you know, they're getting emails with, you know, YouTube links and stuff like that. So, you know, I really try to, like I said, I try to do my part to get Phantom out there, to get Phantom recognized for the wonderful things that they do for these, you know, amazing gentlemen. And if it's, you know, selling a t-shirt or sending a link to a client because he went to med school with somebody that was airborne, even if that's one more paratrooper that we get out here to be able to jump and get that same feeling back that these guys explain to me all of the time, then my job here is done. And I'll keep doing it until they tell me I'm not allowed to anymore. And, you know, and my son came out, and this is the first time he's ever come out to a jump today. And he came out. And I asked him, you know, what did you think? He was like, I had no idea, Mom. That was really, really cool. You know, so even, and he may never come out again, you know, but just to have him come out one time, just come out one time and see what it's like. I can promise anybody that comes out one time, if you don't feel that same spark or that same inspiration or that same something when you watch these guys not only do what they love to do, no matter how crazy you think it is, watching them do what they do and then just sit back and watch them talk and watch them interact and watch them just be together. If you don't feel something like that, then you're not human. You're not, because it's the environment in what fandom is just something that you can't describe it. We always need volunteers, whether you're married to a paratrooper or you have to do what I did and look up paratrooper online and find out exactly what they do, you know. Anybody and everybody's welcome. I can say one thing, nobody ever feel like an outsider. You know, I never felt like an outsider, and even not having a military background, I was worried that I'm not going to know like what's going on or what these men are talking about. And I still don't, half the time I still don't know what they're talking about. But it's to be a civilian and to come out, it really, like, I always appreciated what the military did for our country. I appreciate what these men and women go through every day. But when you come out here and you see them and you hear their stories, you know, they're more than just a YouTube video or an interview or, you know, something like that. When you are a person that you already, you know, I appreciated what they've done for our country, but to see them and to hear them and to really get to know them as human beings, it really gives you a much greater appreciation for everybody that has served, still serving. You just have to come out and see what fun it is and the inspiration and just the spark that these guys have and the passion that they have for not only what they did in the military, but what they mean to each other. And that's really something very, very special. They're great. They're awesome. I love them. They are. I wouldn't trade them for the world.
Yeah.
They're my family. They are. I know they're family for each other, but I'm just a little young girl on the outside that, you know, lived her life in nose buried in a book in a library and, you know, never really felt like I was ever a part of anything. So if you want to be a part of something amazing, you come out and you see a jump. If you want to be a part of an organization that's going to love you and appreciate you, whether you are military, non-military, it doesn't matter. If you're just looking to do something good in the world, then you come out to Phantom Airborne. You spend a few minutes with these guys, and I can promise you'll be back. So one jump, I got to ride in the C-47. And not a big airplane girl, but I mean, it's a C-47 that we used on D-Day. How do you not ride in a C-47 that was used on D-Day? So I ran in there. I was on the plane before any of them were. I think I was more excited than they were. And that was just, I couldn't, I see them come out of the airplane from the ground, you know, but to be up in the plane and watch them go out of the airplane, it's like, you guys are crazy. But the vibe in the plane, you know, and them loading the plane and getting on the plane and the looks on their faces, it was like, that is a different look that I just saw 10 minutes ago when you guys were just hanging around waiting to get on the airplane. And see how serious they take everything and how important this is to them. And it's just the whole environment and the whole vibe in that airplane. I didn't want to get off the airplane. I was like, I'm going to stay up here the whole entire day because this is amazing. Yeah. You know, not too many wives can say that they enjoyed watching their husband jump out of an airplane. It really gelled together. Like, I know how excited they are when they get ready to board that airplane. I see how excited they are when they're on the drop zone and they're walking up to me and how, you know, oh my God, it was this, that, and the other. And they're all, you know, and wind this and PLF that. And, you know, they have their little 5-minute stories of this jump that they just did. But to be up in that airplane, it pieced it all together. Mm-hmm. I now understand why they love getting on that airplane, watching them on that airplane and what different men they are, and then the end result in the drop zone, that was the complete and total picture for me. That completed the puzzle.
That's cool.
So I would do it 1,000 times again if I could, you know, and it's definitely a much different perspective, especially somebody who's not a military person and doesn't understand, you know, what's going on in that airplane or in their minds. But watching them and being a part of a few of those flights, I definitely could feel what it was to be a jumper on that plane that day. Phantom Airborne changed lives of not only veterans and military personnel, but Phantom Airborne changed my life. It's something that this world needs. I think we need more Phantom Airbornes in this world to make this world a better place. Phantom Airborne is an organization that loves their members. They will do anything for their members, and they'll go to the ends of the earth, not only for their members, but the people that support them. And Phantom Airborne is something that is very, very special, near and dear to my heart, not only because of my husband, but just my own personal connection with them. There's not a greater organization out there in my mind but Phantom Airborne Brigade.